welcome to the stream. For those of you who are watching, let me just see. Here we go. So hello ladies and gents, welcome to the channel. For those of you who are watching the stream afterwards as an actual video on the YouTube channel, welcome. This is the A2A Simulations Beechcraft Bonanza V35B video that I'm going to do here today. I've not actually opened it up. This is the first time I've installed it. I'm opening it up. I'm just going to have a full rundown on everything, and I'm going to get a flight underway. We are going to be flying a flight from Teterboro in New York up to Nantucket, and then from Nantucket I'm going to progressively fly all the way across the Atlantic. I'm going to do a ferry flight over to Shoreham in England. So that is what the beginning of today is going to be about. So we're going to do this first leg on VATSIM because we've got some New York ATC outbound, just starting up P3D. While we start P3D, I was just looking at some stuff there. While we start up P3D, we can go to, let's open up, so one over, we can go to it. Downloaded, no, not that, not that, not that. I downloaded the manual. Here we go. Just delete that. Okay, so here is the manual. Let's just go through and have a look at a few things. So the A2A manuals for their aircraft are always very good. Let me just check that everything is fine. Let's just go. Okay. Launch chat app. There we go. So I've got the chat up on my... Hello folks on YouTube. Yep. So I've got the chat up on the laptop next to me, so if anyone says anything, you can do that. It's quite fortunate actually today because I was actually thinking about doing the last leg of the Stratocruiser, sorry, not the Stratocruiser, the Constellation flight from Darwin to Sydney, but this was released, so fantastic timing by A2A, so thank you for that. So just going into the let's go to general. Let's see, maybe not general. I wanted to go to. Let's just go back to page 2. Here we go. I wanted to go to emergency normal procedures with performance charts. So there we go. That's what I wanted to see. So pre-flight, etc. And this is not, there we go. So we've got the before takeoff checklist, the engine start, the taxi, run up, takeoff, the flight, the cruise, the landing, the after landing shutdown. So that's all there. This is taking a long time to load. I think whenever I install a new aircraft, it does take a fair while. Let me just check what my audio levels are like. The audio levels on my microphone always need to be a little bit higher. Let me see if I can change that in here before we get started. Hello, Ip. Hello. Good to see you there today. Levels, that's already on 100. I think 95 probably might actually be a better idea. Advanced, that's probably the best that can do. How are the audio levels there, Ip? How are they there? 96, 97. Let's put it up to... I don't want it to sound too tinny, because I know sometimes... Hello, Mark. Good to see you there as well. Let's just double check. So let's go properties. No. Advanced audio properties. Okay, there we go. So volume, let's put that up to say 150, I think. There we go. That's better. That's better. Yes, testing, 1, 2, 3. That seems to be a lot better. Hopefully. There we go. Okay. Well, if anyone on the stream doesn't like my audio levels, let me know and I can get that sorted. Okay. First time opening up the aircraft manager. Let's see what it looks like. Let's just search A2A. There we go. Oh, fantastic! And they've got a UK. Thank you. You've got a UK reg all ready to go. So let's see which one I like the best so far. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly. My idea is to fly an aircraft from Teterboro over across the Atlantic. I'm going to do a ferry flight, much like I did with the Comanche from Nuke. I'm going to fly this all the way over. Let's say I'm going to fly November 4-1 Golf. Let's say that's the one I'm going to take over. Let's reset the system time. Let's go Nantucket. I think it's Knan, or let's go. No, sorry, not Nantucket. Teterboro. Teterboro. There you go. KTEB. That's correct. Not going to be the active runway. We're going to do a small GA ramp. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take the UTC -5 for the time. Let's also bring in. Yes, that's correct. So first time loading. I've not touched this before. Let's just load up FS real time as well to inject real world timing into the sim. So let's connect that. And when that's ready to go, we'll minimize that as well. Let's hit fly. No connection yet, but we should get that soon. With that connected to sim. There we go. Okay, let's go radar. See if we can zoom out. Say, what have we got today? Got a lot of people on here. Let's just uncheck Project Fly and check VATSIM, so we can bring up the VATSIM world traffic and zoom in on. I'm going to be spawning in around Teterboro. Yeah, here we go. This is Teterboro Airport, so I should be here somewhere when I load up. Let's just have a look. Lots of traffic, and then actually they should show the ground. It should show the ATC info. There's no ATC online for this airport. Okay, so then where did the VATSPY traffic display the... Or unless he's just gone offline. No, it doesn't look like he's gone offline. Well, oh, do I have... Oh, okay, so... Right. Matt Davis is now your friend. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, it should be okay. I should be turning up sometime soon. I should be showing up on VATSIM on Project Fly because I'm connected. Can't wait to see the aircraft. Neither can I, Oliver. It's loading up now. It's 50% loaded. This is quite exciting. Let's just untag that. Yeah, but apparently I'm not showing up on VATSIM, but there we go. Let's just have a look. There I am. G-Kelm. I've just given myself a random call sign there. B35. I'm not sure. B35, was that the right one? Bonanza. Yeah, Beechcraft. What's a B35 aircraft? Beechcraft Bonanza, B35. Okay. I'm not sure that I can get a V-tail variant on... Oh. Hello. Hello, unloaded textures. Just wait until it all loads up. Unless it's fog on the windows. Maybe that's what that is. Just wait for it to... This is the first time ever loading, so... And yeah, I'll just let it settle down first. Let's just pause track IR just to let it settle down. How many nautical miles is the flight? So far, I think for the first flight, I'm just going to go from Teterboro to Nantucket, so really not that long. This initial flight is just to get used to the aircraft. But the longest flight, you really actually can't go too far in this aircraft. This aircraft is 1,000 nautical miles. Well, it's 1,000 nautical miles. It says on the PDF, and of my independent research of the Bonanza, it says about 700 to 800, depending on your fuel efficiency. The charts in the PDF say about 850, but then there's another point in the PDF where it says 1,000. So I'm not sure. We'll see. I think it's very much just down to... Okay, now, of course, that I've set up the aircraft for the first time... Oh, my word. Please watch where you're driving. Now that I've set the aircraft up for the first time, I'm going to just go to pilot. Thank you. Right, let's just move the co-pilot over. Just make sure that his seat is lined up. That's about it. Let's call it. Okay, and then back seat. Well, there's a lot of space in the back. It's a spacious plane. That's good. Actually, I might like to be in the left back seat. Well, it's kind of hard to... I'm just going to put the back seat view like just there, as if I'm leaning forwards. So that's the cockpit. The co-pilot, the back seat. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to actually put the some instrument views. Let's go instrument. I'm going to put one of those, and we're going to make that view second after the pilot, and I'm going to have that down like so, because I know in these small aircraft... Whoa! Hello, textures. That's not A2A quality textures at all. My texture settings must be very low. Let me set this camera and let me come back to this. What are my graphic settings here? This is not good. Display world. Okay. Texture resolution. Where must that be? Mesh resolution? Tessellation factor? Hello, multi. Realism, lighting, weather, display. It's going to be here. Yeah, it's going to be here. Medium, high, and let's go say 4. Let's just make those changes. I don't know what the performance is going to be now, because I was actually... My current setup that I've now just changed, my current graphical setup was set up for the FS Labs Airbus series. And they are some of the most FPS intensive add-ons that there are. And so I made sure that my sim ran smoothly for them. So everything else, by definition, should run smoothly. But A2A aircraft, I mean, A2A aircraft aren't even as bad as... You know, PMDG aircraft are okay, generally, if you've got a good sim. And A2A aircraft are generally very good. That's more like it. That's more like it. That's more like it. Thank you. Okay. Right. Just while I set these cameras up, so that's pilot, instruments, and from the pilot view I can see all of my gauges, and I can zoom in with track IR and I can look at these things. But to go down to the other view, that's very helpful just to see what's going on down there. So that's my throttle. That's my... Oh, I love the little kind of... I love the shape of those. They're not just Cessna. That's a Beechcraft thing, maybe. Okay. Now let's go to the outside. Okay, first time on the outside. Let's just... Oh, come on. That seems to be a nice looking... That's a really nice looking aircraft. Look at that. Let's go tail. Thank you. And then let's go nose. And let's put the nose... Let's turn the nose around here. Oh, hello. Okay. Let's turn the nose like so. That's an interesting looking aircraft. Oh. Nope, nope, nope. What did I do? Tail, nose. Oh, okay. Wait a second. Pause track IR. Track IR was spazzing out for a second. Let's just come back. There we go. So now we're going to go, oh, okay, let's hit that button there. And so we've got tail, we've got nose. Let's go left and right. Left. Let's just put a left. That's a nice looking aircraft. Let's just do that there, and then let's go right. So we're going to go through the whole setup, guys. We're going to go through the walk around. We're going to go through the full startup procedure. I'm going to show you the whole setup here. We're also hopefully going to run into some rain. Maybe once I land in Nantucket, we'll do some. Samuel says anti-stropic filtering. Do you mean, Samuel, that I didn't set it and I should? So those are the 4 basic exterior views that I really need. One thing I'm going to do for all of these is make sure that in the Advanced tab, Enable Gimbal is selected, and that just means that the aircraft will bank and roll naturally independently of the camera, which I feel always looks much nicer than a fixed camera. And then, okay, right, so engage track IR again. So let's open the door. How can we open the door? Oh, is it only one-sided door? There you go. Huh. There's no door handle over this side. Must not be able to get out on that window. It's just over there. Oh, and can I also do... Let's go into the back view here. Can I also emergency exit lift? I can't open that. I don't think so. Shoulder harness must be worn during flight. Okay, but look at the quality there. Oh my goodness! Look at the quality of the see-through stickers there. You can see on the corner of that sticker, if I just move over, on the corner of that sticker, you can actually see the bits the little bubbles underneath the plastic when they've stuck that to the glass. That is quality modeling there. I'm not quite sure which A2A member did the modeling on this, but I mean all of the A2A members that do the modeling are amazing. But this in particular, and I love the kind of walnut style. I don't know if that's walnut or not, but oh yeah, and here's a little place to here's a little yeah, that's pretty sweet. Right, let's go to the exterior view. That's pretty cool. Oh, and does it have baggage? Can I open the baggage? Well, while I'm here, let's just open the tabs. Okay, so this is F1. Oh, sorry, Shift 2. That's Shift 2. That's Shift 3. Shift 4 is your payload and fuel manager. Shift 5 is your navigation. Shift 6 is your quick radios. Shift 7 is the maintenance hangar, which we'll look at. Shift 8 is your pre-flight or your walk around. Shift 9 is that, and Shift 10, Shift 0 is nothing. Okay, so it makes textures more sharp. You have low setting 2, I use 8. Okay, for the moment I think I'm going to leave the graphics settings as is, just because, well, I don't like that blurriness, which kind of rectifies itself when you zoom in. I think for the moment, just for performance sake, I will leave it as is, and then I'll tweak it later off stream, and then in ensuing videos after, videos later, I can have better. Okay, so that's disconnected. Let's just set to now. So that's set. Okay, if I, right, okay, there I am on VATSIM now. Oh no, I disappeared off VATSIM. It doesn't. Oh, obviously, duh. I haven't actually connected to VATSIM yet, so I should probably do that now. Yes, load up. Thank you. Connect, and I'm going to call myself November 41 Golf for the moment. November 41 Golf, because it's just easier to say, and that is a BE35. Connect. Okay. Right. So now that we've got the door open, let's go to Shift 8 and let's go to our walk around. So cabin, control wheel. Let's remove that. That is removed actually. That. So if I move that forward, yeah. So remove before flight. So that's the. And this is a dual stick setup, because I know that some of the older versions of the Bonanza had a setup where it's a single stick which flips back and forwards to the left and to the right. So depending on who's flying, but that means that if you're doing an instructor, if an instructor's flying, the student will be flying, and the instructor won't have controls to grab onto and override the student pilot if something goes wrong. So it's nice that they've given us a different one. So the click spot for that, by the way, guys, is the central column to take it away. But once that central column is gone, the click spot looks like it changes to the metallic area around that area. So control wheel locks removed, battery switch on. Okay, this is where I'm gonna get down and dirty and start figuring out firewall air. Wow. Battery on. Fuel quantity gauges check. Where's our fuel quantity gauges? Let's just go back up. Fuel quantity gauges. Fuel pressure. Fuel flow. Have we actually put any fuel in it? We haven't actually looked at the payload manager. Let's go do that first. Okay, so in the payload fuel manager, let's take myself and another dude. Let's, we don't actually have, we've got full fuel, but let's put the tip tanks on, because this is going to be, there we go, this is going to be ferry flights. So let's put the tip tanks on, inspect engine, repair all engine heater. We will install the engine heater because we will be flying through some very cold areas. And we could go with the 300 or the 285 horsepower version. I think the 300 horsepower version is going to give us slightly more performance at altitude, so we'll go with that for the moment. And of course, we've got our standard track, we've got our standard tire selections and battery selections. Once we hit, let's check the engine. So we've got 6 cylinders. Let's just check those. They're all good. Spark plugs and oil should all be fine, because this is a brand new. And we've got a new button here. Check instruments. Whoa. So this is the bit. Right. Okay, I know what's here. So I would expect as these gauges age, they should have like amber words pop up on the gauges to say replace or damaged or needs inspection, excuse me. So that's curtains. Oh, we can take the curtains out as well. I quite like the curtains, to be fair, so, and the tip tanks. There's not as many options actually as some previous A2A aircraft. I mean, some A2A aircraft have had flap gap seals and different kinds of fairings for the tires. Of course, I mean, this is retractable now, so we don't really have that. But okay, so having done that, let's just see. I know my tank selectors are down behind me on the left, so they're off at the moment. But now I can actually add fuel in the tip tanks, like so. But actually, where is fuel? Oh, elevator, tab. It's a big area down there. Let's just go to, okay, so strobe beacon, lots of alternate airflow mixture. There's no gauges on the floor. Let's see, what we could do is just go, we could go to the thing, but there's the trim tab, flaps, lighter, gear, avionics, fuel. Oh, okay, right there, fine. Right fuel tank and left fuel tank. Duh, I should have looked there first. So they're both full, which is good. So we've done that. Fuel selectors on desired tank. So let's put it onto the left tank first. Flaps extend. Okay, so there's 3 levels to that. There's up, there's neutral, and there's down. Okay, so they're completely variable. They're completely variable flaps, which means that you can have them, the different, there's not like set degrees. You can just put them all the way down or all the way up and any stage in between. So that's interesting. Okay, so that's the flaps extended. Battery switch, let's go off. And ignition off. Well, ignition was off to begin with, but yeah. Okay, so that's the cabin. Let's go outside to the right wing. Zoom out a bit. Let's give the flap a wobble, like normal, just to check that all the linkages are good. Let's have a photo. Ooh. Wait, what? That's broken? Maybe that should look like that. It's that linkage there. We'll double check by going to the maintenance hangar, and if we've not got any amber lights on the flaps that we need any flaps done, so maybe it's supposed to look like that. That would just be a bit weird. Let's just have a look at the linkages there. They look okay. Okay, check for damage. I don't expect to see anything wrong, because this is like technically an aircraft that's straight from the shop, for instance. Okay, so 20 people watching on YouTube, so welcome, folks. Check condition, wingtip. Nice modeling of the lights there on the end. You can actually see that is a translucent material. That is actually they've actually modeled the glass there and the depth within that corner there. That's nice. And then drain. Okay, so we've got, that looks like, that's not a photo. That's not a photo. That's actually, well, no, the top bit around here is a photo, but that fuel is a graphical representation of liquid. That's not a photo of fuel in the tank. But the bit around the edge looks like a photo. That's interesting. That's your standard sumping the fuel. Okay. Going around, check the condition of the tip, and again, that's quite a nice looking. The reflections all look very nice, and there's specks of dirt on the underside there. Let's go to the other side. Let's go back to the stream here. Are you using Chaseplane? Yes, I am using Chaseplane, Nick. Yeah. At the moment, on these camera views on the walk around don't use chase planes, so that's why I can't hold the middle mouse button down and move side to side. I'm locked into this view. Okay, wing tie down disconnect. Okay, obviously that's what the wing tie looks like when it's down, and that's what the chocks. Let's take those away. Real world tip: examine tire tread depth and wear. Check for proper strut extension. Check for hydraulic leaks on the tire or pavement. Okay. Okay, so again, my video settings right now are not perfect, so that is probably why these little screw the screw heads on the rivets look a bit fuzzy. So that's probably my video settings, guys. Visually check for desired level. So yes, again, that looks like a graphical photo. It looks like an actual photograph of the top, but then they've graphically laid in a layer of fuel in there as a, if that makes any sense to you guys. It does to me. But check for proper tire condition. Yeah, so we should expect brand new tires. Ooh, very, very glossy nose cone there. Nice modeling of the light as well. We'll do a full walk around after this with our own camera and zoom in on the different details and stuff. Check for damage and security. Yep. Landing and taxi light inspection. Well, I can't really like pan down at the moment, so maybe it's yeah. It's using default controls. Yeah. Okay, so that's nice modeling. That's oh wow. So if you zoom in there, you've got all the nuts and the bolts, and you've got every single little tie piece and stuff going on in there. And then excuse me, and then you zoom in here, you can see they've got some good detail going on there. Check for restrictions from debris. Yeah, I don't see any debris in there, thankfully. We can always click that button anyway. Okay, so check the oil level. So oil level is 10 quarts, I believe. Quarts is the measurement. Every 24 hours or 4 months, whichever comes. 25 hours or 4 months, whichever comes first. Can extend to 40 hours if the plane is flown daily. Okay, so with quite regular flights, that's giving you information there. Don't let your engine sit for a long period of time when it's dirty, etc., etc. Okay. Coming around onto the underside of the right wing, we're going to sump the fuel there as well. That's fine. I've actually never had any issues with water in the fuel, but one day, you never know. Depends where you fly, depends what temperatures and humidities. That's what they look like. And also the pitot tube, we will come up to here, I believe. Yeah, okay. So there's that little tab, which graphically moves up and down, and then that's what the pitot cover looks like when it's removed. And I haven't actually turned on the pitot tube, but it should be good to work. Check for condition, and those are the wing tank. Yeah, so check for the fuel in the wing tank, and then sump the wing tank. So coming around to the right aileron, the struts, the little linkages look good. Oh, there's a lot more give in that flap. Hello. There's give in that flap. Ah. Hang on a second. So that one there looks different from the other side. But yet that looks okay. That looks correct. Yet there's more give in that one. That makes no sense. Okay, check that the static air is not blocked. And then check that the tie down there is correct, and all of the linkages, wow, there's a lot of them here, are all correct. They don't look too bad. And give those a wobble. They look good. And then finally, check that static air and the key is in and locked. And then back into the cabin. So just before we leave, I'm going to go back to... Okay, there is a bit of wobble in there as well, but when I look at that, that is definitely does not look connected in any way, shape, or form. Is there... the These are actions you, the pilot, can perform yourself during the walk around. How do I fix that if that is disconnected, but yet, let's just go back to the cockpit view, but yet nothing in the maintenance hangar tells me that there's anything wrong with the flaps there. I'm not sure. That's interesting. I'm sure I'll find that out in time. Okay, so let me just double check here. Okay, so that was the walk around. Let's just have a look. The graphical detail within the cockpit is very good. There's the map there, of course. Oh, cabin ventilation. Okay, let's just open that up. Okay, so let's just do a graphical walk around ourselves. Let's just turn track IR off so it's easier to do this. Okay, so okay, that's as low as I can go with this camera. Okay. So as well as having the VTEL, you've got this weird. That's probably the trim tab there. That little piece of. Actually, let me just manipulate the trim. Oh no, the trim is the trim tabs on the back of the actual elevators. Elevators, fins. I'm gonna have to come up with a whole load of new terminology for this. Let's just go back to shift 4. Yeah, so I could put baggage. Let's put some baggage in there. That's 85 pounds of baggage. Okay, so coming around. Actually, I am gonna go to the other view because I can actually move underneath like so. Okay. So as I was saying earlier on, that gear is well done, and you could see the brake linkages and stuff underneath, and the undercarriage, retractable undercarriage. You've got the exhaust pipes there, and you've got a little antenna that comes down as well. You've got some vents there. Oh, thank you. Got some vents there, and external power, 12-volt DC. So there are some, in terms of overall quality, it's A2A. It's always fantastic. And again, the low res look to that livery just there, that is my computer settings. I'm not running this 4K. I'm not running with 4K textures. I'm actually sitting on the ramp in a New York airport, so I have to be. I have to tweak my own sim so that it's actually worth watching. Just check out while we're here. I'm just going to zoom out and then zoom in. Look at the profile. Look at the profile there. That is a very nice profile. The sweep, the curve of the front of the cockpit there, and then just the beautiful, subtle sweeping curve all the way back to the end. And then at the very end, you've got, you've got a kind of strobe. And there again, that's A2A modeling the actual glass that it sits within. It's not just kind of phantom light that just flashes on the end of a wing, and you don't really know where the light comes from. You know exactly where the light's coming from. They've modeled. Okay, so and even within the wing tank, even on the whenever you have the wing tanks off, you can see that part is modeled quite well as well. Let's just zoom in on this. I quite like this. That's really good, and it's actually the right color and everything. Okay, ruddervators. Thank you, Jorkland. Ruddervators. That's what they are. Okay, so my voice is already getting a little bit dry, even though we haven't even taken off yet. But that's what happens when it's just put on VATSIM now. That's what happens whenever I do a full walk around. Okay, unknown. Oh, that's not very nice. Let's click on that. Click on that. Okay, whatever. I'll just go back to Project Fly. Click on that. Okay, solid. Okay, track IR back on, and let's go through the checklist. I could go through the notes here, which look actually on the surface very similar to the full checklist. But let's go through the full checklist anyway, just off the PDF. Okay, upon entering cabin, pre-flight has been completed. Passengers, yeah, we've briefed them. Seatbelts, shoulder harnesses are on. Flaps are, now let's put the flaps up. I have to put the battery on because they're battery operated flaps, so let's just wait until they're raised. You want to fly with disconnected flaps. Okay, they're up. Now I'm going to put that flap down to its middle. Okay, radios off. Yes, the radios are off. Circuit breakers are all in. Yep, it's quite easy to see if a circuit breaker is out, he says, and then he misses a circuit breaker that's out. All electrical switches are off, autopilot is off, rotating beacon is on. Let's put on the rotating beacon. Let's use my other, there we go, beacon, like so. And you can actually hear it rotating in the cabin. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let me just change the volume. If you could hear that. You can actually hear it, and you can hear it rotating in the external view as well. So that's cool. Usually rotating beacons are just rotating beacons, and you can graphically see it actually animating as it turns. So that right there is pretty cool. Okay, so what's next? Someone's texting me as well. Fuel selectors, desired tank, and gear switch is down. That has all been done. Gear switch is down. Okay, broken parts you saw there. With disconnected flaps. Well, I did check, but there's like, how do I actually fix that? If I go back to Shift 8, I know what you're talking about, guys. I was talking about earlier here. This here, like, what do I click on? I identified to myself, I saw this, and I'm like, how do I click on that? You can't click off that. If I go to the maintenance hangar, which is usually where you fix things. Oh, inspect? Maybe I had to inspect it first. Yes. There we go, guys. Thank you. Right. That is good. That is good. That is a good thing, A2A. You actually have to go in and inspect it. You can't just hit Shift 5 or Shift 7. You can't just hit Shift 7, look quickly at anything that's wrong, and then close it. You have to go in and fix that and actually inspect it. Okay, so now that's done. Thank you for re-prompting me, Mozo, to actually go in and sort that out, because I would have just taken off and been like, oh, I don't know how to fix that. I'll just take off. So I want to go back into... let's go back to F8 just to confirm that this has now been fixed. Oop. No, we want to go... There we go. Yep, so it's fixed now. There we go. So we're back in. Thank you, Mozoto. Hi, P-Bask. What do you think so far? I really, really like it so far. I've not actually started it up yet. So I've just been spending time getting used to the walk around and everything there. So the gear switch is down. So engine starting, mixture rich, prop full, throttle full. They have the throttle full. Okay. So mixture is rich, prop is full, and throttle is full. Battery and alt switches on. Let's just get rid of this for the moment. So the battery switch and the alt switch is on. Check gear lights are all green. Yes, they are all green there. The aux pump on until FF goes into the green, then off. Okay, so fuel pump on until the fuel goes into the green and then off. So where's the fuel pump? Where is the fuel pump? Pitot heat, prop de-ice. I like the fact we've got prop de-ice. Slave switch, firewall, ventilation nozzle. Parking brake should be on. Cabin heat. One of these things, for the life of me, I don't know where the fuel pump is. There it is, and that was already a little bit too much fuel, but there we go. Okay, so throttle cracked. Okay, so throttle cracked a 1/4 inch like normal. Yeah. They just wanted me to put the throttle up so that the fuel would pump through. Throttle cracked, and then clear prop, and then mag start. Okay, so. Okay, and then oil pressure check. And then, so our eyes need to be on the oil pressure right there as we turn this to start. Maybe I had too much fuel. Huh. It didn't have mags in the. No, mag start. Okay, mag start switch start. I didn't see the mags. I completely missed that. Obviously. Mags. There's me trying to start it without the mags. The mags in Beechcraft as well as Piper are in places that you don't expect the mag switches to be. That's my general experience with things that are not Cessna. I should probably close the door at this point, actually. Ah. Mag start is one thing. Is it built into here then? Down on the left panel. Magneto are the keys left, right, both. That down there is my fuel tank selector. Why can I not see left? Oh, left. Oh, okay, left, right, both. So whenever I go left, right, both, and start, the mags are in the, by starting the aircraft, by starting that, the mags are on. So that shouldn't be an issue, but it's not starting. You know what we could do? We could hit auto start, but maybe I should open the shutters. I really don't want to hit auto start for my first A2A start of the Bonanza. Let me just double check I did everything. So Throttle cracked, mag and start switch start, oil pressure check. Okay, so at that point the engine should be coming on. I think it's flooded now. Yeah, it's probably flooded. Let me just hit auto start. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, girl. Whoa, girl. You wanted to fly away now, didn't you? Okay, so oil temperature, oil pressure's in the green, oil temp is good. Cylinder head temperature's good. And let's idle at about 900 RPM. Woo! That was fun. That was fun. Cut the mixture and launch the starter if it's flat. Yeah, I should have done that, but yeah. Whew. Okay. See those skid marks. Lol. Okay, so I'm going to put in some headphones. So we got ourselves some headphones on. And another thing I want to do is bring in... Oh, I didn't activate the GTN 750. No worries, I'll activate that in Nantucket when I land for the transatlantic leg, because I will need the GTN 750 for the transatlantic leg. Okay, so next thing. Oil pressure checked, ammeter and mixture. Okay, we lean the mixture out as soon as we've... Let's go about 50% lean. Let's check. EGT is good. Yeah, amps are good. We got 1 amp. That's not a huge amount, but at least it's constant. Mixture, lean, avionics on, cowl flaps. Okay, avionics are on and cowl flaps we have are open, which is this here. Yeah. Okay, so next thing is taxi, but we need to go over to the radios now. Okay, ATIS is okay. Let's just talk to Kennedy departure and ask him if he covers Teterboro. If he doesn't, okay, 1359. So. Actually, if we go to VATSIM or VATSPY and grab his details, Denver details. Okay. Okay, so services at JFK and KRG. So we're pretty much. Yeah, so he's over JFK and the West. So actually, I can take off and not really worry too much, but I'm going to be on his frequency anyway. So, will you do an Atlantic ferry flight? I will, Charles. This is the beginning of my Atlantic ferry flight with the Bonanza. I'm going to take it back to the UK. I'm going to fly. She sounds nice. She does sound nice. It's a beautiful kind of. It's a beautiful humming noise. Right. So we're in. We're actually going to take off, and we're going to keep out of the way of JFK. Actually, to be fair, because it's live at the moment. So if I zoom all the way out, you'll see quite quickly what my plan is. So you can see takeoff from New York, go via Nantucket or Block Island. I might land in Nantucket this evening and then continue today and call it a day. Or I might actually no. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to go up to Block Island and then up through Canada and then across to Nuuk in Greenland, and then the longest leg is actually Nuuk to Reykjavik. It's about 650 miles, which is doable with the Bonanza, and then of course down through into Inverness and down beyond. Who is okay? That's not something I need to worry about. So all in all, about 3,500 nautical miles. Nothing in comparison with the 10,000 nautical mile trip I've been doing in the Constellation from London to Sydney. So that's not too bad. Okay, so I'm just going to listen into JFK delivery anyway. So, but I'm not going to really need him. All I want I want all those features retrofitted into my other A2As. Yeah, go Brazil A2A. Yes, actually, I was thinking of a Brazil trip in the Bonanza. Yet actually this morning. Google me. That's funny you mentioned that. I was actually thinking of maybe we should go from like New York to Rio. That would be pretty sweet. But I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it over to the UK first, I think. So. Although going to Rio would be pretty sweet in this as my first. Ooh, the temptation to just completely ditch the transatlantic thing and go Rio. What do you think, guys? What do you think, guys? Should I do a series of live streams on New York to Rio or New York to England? Vote for me. Vote for it in the comment. Let me know what you guys think in the comments while we're just getting ready to do it. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to do this. It means I'm gonna have to do some hasty route changes on the fly. But let's say, how far are we from? Okay, how far are we from? We are. Let's fly direct from here. Should we fly direct from here to the Bahamas? I got the Bahamas scenery, and then the Bahamas we could fly down to. Ooh, what's that range though looking like? Ooh, that's close. Yeah, we could do that. We could fly to the Bahamas, and then we could hit the Turk Islands, and then go down through the Caribbean. Rio, always like flying the Atlantic. Ooh, Rio. Lots of people want. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, was that Teb or I'm leaving out of Teterboro, Auckland. I could go. Yeah. I could go via Bermuda and then down through the Caribbean and then down and across the Amazon. Look, guy. Okay, I've done a transatlantic thing before. Let's go Rio. I'm gonna go Rio. Okay, so it's not gonna be terribly. Let's just VFR it down the eastern seaboard. Screw this going north. Let's just VFR it down the eastern seaboard. Okay, forget this. Forget this flight plan. But if I do this, I have to then I have to change my project fly. You know what? No, let's stick with what we've got. Let's stick with the transatlantic, because I'm here and I've set all of this up. But in other videos, I'll do stuff further down. Hurricane flying. Yeah. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go south. Hurricane flying. I know. I'm sorry. You got me, Auckland, with that. You got me with Auckland. Hurricane flying. In a Bonanza. I know. It's gonna be crazy. It depends. It depends where the hurricanes are. I'm just gonna take off and fly south along the coast as far as I can possibly get in today, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna leave via Colt Neck, VOR, I think. So that's 115.4. So we should have that up here on the ADF. Not the ADF, but you know what I mean. Okay. Right. Taxi radio's on. Transponder is on. Alt. Now. Okay. Transponder. Altimeter set. Radio heading indicator set. Landing gear indicator is green. Radio ATIS. Parking brake release. Brakes. Test on initial roll and lights as required. Okay, sounds pretty straightforward. Let's put the taxi light on and the nav light, and we're good to go. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's have a feeling for the steering of this bad boy. Oh, look at those rudders. Oh, that's so cool. Ah! That's pretty responsive ruddering. I hope you're not a doctor in real life. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Let's just taxi out of here. Okay, so we've got a 5-knot crosswind from there, so we can take off directly on this runway and turn 180 essentially. So let's do that. Let's go 122.8 on the other. Okay, I'm just going to go Unicom, and if that New York director wants to control me, he'll let me know. Okay, let's give myself some flaps, because I would like some flaps. Not all the flaps though. There was a flaps. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, there's the flap indicator. Let's have 10 degrees of flaps. There you go. 10 degrees of flaps, and let's use my, let's go strobe and the landing lights. And we won't bother about pitot heat or prop de-ice yet. But okay, I can see that my RPM has gotten a little bit higher, so that's probably the engine that's just warmed itself up. Okay, so run up, brakes hold, fuel quantity check, fuel selector, desired tank, mixture set, throttle 1700 RPM, so let's go put that, 15, 16, 17, like so. Instruments checked, oil pressure, oil temp, oil flow. Okay, so oil flow looks to be holding good, manifold pressure is good, the flow is fine. Temperatures, cylinder head temperatures are coming into the green now, so they're warming up slowly. Oil pressure is still fine. And then magnetos. Let's just listen for this drop. Yep, I heard the drop. So that's fine. Let's bring that back down to 1,000. Roughly. Okay, prop cycle 1 to 3 times. Oh, we have to do that at 1700 RPM. Okay, how is the audio for you guys? How's the sim audio? I'm just going to turn that up slightly for you. How does that sound to you guys? Is this too much or too little? Okay, let's bring that down. Okay, nice and throaty. Really, really deep sounds there. Okay, takeoff before controls free and correct. Fuel selectors, desired tank, fuel pump is on. Okay, fuel pump is on for takeoff. Alright. Fuel pump is on. We are on the left tank. Controls are free and clear. Sorry, there we go. And prop full in, engine gauge is checked, trim tab neutral, flaps set, cowl flaps open, door to windows secure, slowly advanced throttle. Okay. Okay, so what runway is this we're taking off? Oh, this isn't even the threshold. This looks. That looked like the threshold. Maybe that's the ILS. Maybe that's the instrument landing. That's the instrument threshold, or the instrument. Let's just pop the. Let's pop the frames up in the top left-hand corner for you. Roughly averaging 30 frames, so it's not too bad. Okay, let's just turn. And in the turning, actually, whenever I turn my rudders, my ailerons actually roll as well, which is a bit weird. But maybe that helps to create some turning force. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Aileron and rudder interconnect, right, okay. Now you are following the noise abatement departure, right? No. This is a Bonanza. We don't believe in noise abatement. We believe in noise encouragement, Jorkland. Okay, that checkered box over there is probably going to be our hold area to do that, but we don't need to do that because we already did. Okay. This is runway 1. Check your gauge is showing correctly. Check your gauge is showing correctly. EGT's pretty low. But wait until I bring the actual throttle up properly. As far as I know, everything seems to be going well. Mixture's rich. I don't know why we have 2 altitudes there, but whatever. New feature, Teb is the only airport that has. That's all this. If that plane lands here again, it's not taking off. Pretty strict about noise. Oh, really? In real life or on VATSIM? Because there's no one controlling right now. Okay, let's get off the ground now. Oh, you can. Yeah. Can you guys hear that? And they clink. They clink. That's so cool. Okay, pulling onto the runway. In real life, okay. Good to know. Okay, so smoothly advance. That noise. Whoa. Gear up. Positive rate. Whoa, we're getting some turbulence being kicked around here. Let's just trim. Yeah, we are getting some turbulence here. Whoa, climb rate, wow. Wow, she wants to fly. That climb rate though. Those clouds, wow. They look ominous. Over Long Island. Wonder if it will Dutch roll all the time. I don't know. We'll get settled into cruise and then... okay, so let's pulling back 75% throttle, 75% pitch, propeller pitch, and 75% on the mixture. Those clouds, though, they are low and thick, and they go all the way up to the top. There's clouds all around me, except where I am. So let's see if we can climb above these clouds. Let's see how fast we can climb. Let's just go straight up. Just made a mess. Oh dear. So climbing at 1500 feet per minute. Almost 3000 now. Let's bring the flaps up now. Oh, duh. And there's Teterboro behind us, falling away. Some exterior views here. That noise, though. It definitely sounds like a powerful engine. It sounds more powerful than any other A2A aircraft in that sense. It's got meatiness to it. Let's see if we can climb above these clouds before we reach them. Wow. I think those clouds have... See, depends whether... Yeah. We've now got a 9-knot tailwind. Let's see if I can get above these clouds, and then we can go IFR. Okay, so we had the... We had Colt's Neck here as 115.4. I should have actually... Duh, I should have actually activated it. Okay, so if we just swivel this around, we'll see where we're actually... Okay, so Colt's Neck is actually there. Okay, we should be flying over Liberty, New York Liberty soon, just there. I think someone's on the ground. Somewhere. I can't see them though from here. That is a pretty powerful sound though. We're already up at almost 6,000 feet. So she climbs, even with a full fuel load, she climbs quite well. What is your Sky Rayleigh add-ons? I'm using Active Sky Next for P3D version 4. And I'm using PTA for my shaders. And in the climb, I've not really set for cruise power or anything yet, so... Still climbing. And once we get up into cruise, or once we get over this cloud bank, we'll play around with the... Well, actually, we'll play around with the stall characteristics and the handling a little bit more when we get towards our destination, wherever that may be. So... So we're actually over 100 knots in the climb. Knots in miles per hour. We're actually, well, we're at about 100 knots. So we're actually climbing at 100 knots usually, which is, and that's faster on average than A2A's previous stuff. Is it me, or is that whole cloud bank? That has changed dramatically since I took off. Right, I'm going to have to skirt these clouds here. I don't really want to go too close to them. Nice personal rocket. Yeah, it is. Any chance of a night lighting preview? Yeah, GL. We'll once we get into cruise, we'll play around. We'll bring on the night lighting and see what that looks like. But I just want to get away from these clouds first. I want to see if I can beat these clouds and get south of them first. Going through 7,000 feet already. This thing climbs like nothing. It's climbing at 1,000 feet per minute at about 110, 111 knots. So it is pretty ridiculous. And let's see our fuel burn. Let's go over to the right tank now. So we've burnt a little bit of fuel in the left. Let's go over to the right. There's a EGT has come up as I thought it would. Okay, so the air is actually settling down a bit now. I'm going to turn down the engine sounds just because they're a bit noisy in my head. Can't really hear myself think. There we go. Whew! So that was nice. That was a nice takeoff. Let's just see where we are on the map. Since we've at this point we've practically lost all reference with the ground, I'm just going to go over to IFR, and if it's been annoying, but let's go coil 113.4. It's direct. So. No, don't do that. Don't do that. There we go. Okay, so let's just turn on to that heading there. Do they have that thing where you can plug in a headset and bring down the engine noise? Yeah, I've got that plugged in, if you listen. It's not a massive gain, but it's still something. Wow, I'm already almost at 10,000. That's ridiculous. This is a beast. This really is a bit of a beast here. So I, at the very last minute, decided that we were going to change and do a ferry flight from New York to South America via the Caribbean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hit autopilot at 10,000, get ourselves in cruise, get some speed on us, and try and get rid of this, get out of the way of this cloud cover, and then we can get settled down and do some things here. Okay, so for the autopilot, that's to disengage. To engage it. Oh, okay. I have to learn how to actually work the autopilot. Okay. Trim. Control wheel steering off. That's trim. That's disconnect. Pre-flight test. Okay, so. Okay, autopilot engaged. Right. Let's actually swivel the heading around. Okay, so it's responding to heading input. That's good. And then altitude. Okay. All right, we can altitude selector. Okay, 10,000. Let's put that in. Okay, so I hit that, and actually we're above 10,000, so he's gonna, yeah, it's gonna come down. Okay, nav. Let's go hit nav, and he's going to, yeah, so it's gonna now go and track the radial that we have set, and we're at 10,500. Okay, right, okay. So heading, approach, nav, down, up, pitch. The pitch is neutral. Okay, so we just press that button up and down and we can actually get... this is the 300 horsepower version, yeah guys. So when pressing the down button, okay, so now we're heading down. Let's just bring the power back to 75 and the pitch back to about 20. Let's put about 2300. Okay. Okay, so we're almost onto that we're almost onto that localizer now. He should... Oh no, okay, nav. There we go. Okay, so he should turn us on now. And hopefully we should also... Okay, let's arm that's arming 10,000. So we're actually coming down. We're actually pitched down. Yeah. So we've pitched down, and then once we hit 10,000, we should level out. That is my plan. That is my absolute plan. Whew. Right, I'm going to just pause track IR there for the moment, and... right, faster than the Comanche? I feels like it's faster than the Comanche, straight out of the box, GL. It definitely does feel faster. Just 25 people on YouTube. Welcome, guys. And, okay, so coming down to 10,000. We should really have QNH 1013 set. But we don't. Let's set QNH 1013 now. There we go. No, keep coming down. Oh, actually, yes, keep coming up. There we go. There we go. And then arm that again, because we're going up through. You can see the nose lift up slightly every time I select that knob up and down. That's a weird way of doing it. That's not particularly accurate. That's, I mean, nothing gets close to the Cessna's way of saying, okay, I want you to climb at 400 feet per minute. Thank you very much. Like, the Pipers and the Beechcraft don't seem to have that same thing. They're just like, oh, sure, we'll start climbing now, and you just have to fiddle around with it. Okay, that's 10,000 there. Okay, sorry, yes, you're now at 10,000. Are you going to level out and hold 10,000? Yes, excellent. Okay, so now that we're leveled out to 10,000, let's push the throttle all the way forward again to see what we can do about our speed. Let's see what we can really achieve here. So we're now cruising. Did I... Yes, I did turn the strobe on. Excellent. And, oh, yep, he's just adjusting. The autopilot is just adjusting for the wind and everything. Yeah. Okay, so you can see he came on to the radial, and now he's tracking the radial inbound to our coil VOR just to the south. Okay, so that's working nicely. Gotten 5 degrees, 5 knots of tailwind. It's quite an old auto. Yeah, it's quite an old autopilot. Yeah, it's similar in style to some things I've flown before, but I've not really experienced too much that's similar to this. I think this is a bit of a Beechcraft thing. It reminds me of the de Havilland Twin Otter, actually. In some ways, the autopilot system is similar. So we've also got our Rhino selected to N1, so we're actually tracking navigation 1. So that's tracking our speed or nautical miles, how far away we are from the VOR, and our speed to the VOR, and how many minutes it should take at these current settings, how many minutes it should take to get to that VOR. So pulling from the right tank. Yep, all set up really nicely. So now that we're set up and we are on our way south, that was a bit of a wobbly departure, but let's set our let's see if we can set our, well, first let's just go to eastern seaboard weather. Oh my word. Oh my word, those poor people. That's horrible. Can't imagine having to face that every hurricane season. Imagining you have to face that. I think there's two more actually. There's this one here, which is pretty bad. But this here, that's rough. Myrtle Beach is just probably, yeah, that's not good. Okay, so right now we're about here over East Brunswick. We could make it as far as, say, Hampton. I think Hampton is, let's see how far we can make it. We might be able to make it to Hampton, or we might make it to Dover or something. Depends how fast we're going. Well, based on how far we've gone so far, let's just turn this data view map overlays. Let's take that off. Oop. Yeah, the other two are heading my way. Yeah. So we're in the East Brunswick. Oh, we're actually here in New Jersey already. That area just there. So Baltimore. I think based on the fact that that's how far we've come in that shortest time since takeoff, we could easily make it down to Virginia Beach. But then Virginia Beach is getting hammered, or it will get hammered soon. It looks, yeah, I mean, look at Virginia Beach. That's quite close to that huge cell. New York to Virginia Beach. That's, well, boys, we're going to see what a hurricane looks like. "20 nautical miles away now. Good chance to see rain effects." Yes, exactly, GL. That's another thing I really wanted to see, because these rain effects, I've not seen them yet at all. I've not turned that on. But we're going to start to see some issues with the turbulence. So we're cruising at 162 knots right now. It should take us 6 minutes to get there. 162 knots, ground speed 163. That is respectable. This is a respectable cross-country cruiser. No, that wasn't being flippant, GL. You'd have to say something a lot more horrendous on my channel before that became flippant. It is a good chance to see rain effects. I mean, yeah. I really feel sorry for those people that live there. Imagine what house insurance costs must be if that sort of thing happens on a yearly or bi-yearly basis. Like, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Okay, so let's just choose. Okay, from Teterboro. Let's just delete all of this. Let's just delete that entire plan. So this is going to be a ferry flight from New York to South America through the Caribbean, and hopefully through this hurricane. I don't know how I'm going to like dance around it. I might try and actually fly through the hurricane just to see what the Bonanza can do in terms of that. So I've got the throttle firewalled. I've got the propeller at about 2300 RPM, and the mixture. Let's actually see what we can do with this EGT. Okay, let's put it about there. I can see the 3000, 5000, 7000 SL cruise power, 45, 55, 65, 75. And that is actually linked in with the charts. There's in the PDF, there's a series of performance charts. If we go back to page 2, I think it is. Okay, charts. Propellers, general emergency performance charts. Here we go. Takeoff distance, fuel, time, fuel, and distance to climb. Here, this one. Range profile. Okay, so this is the range profile of the Bonanza in the manual, and you can see that the further you want to fly, the higher you need to be in your cruise, and the lighter you need to be on the throttle. So, for instance, if I want to fly at 10,000, say 10,000 feet, that's where I'm cruising right now, at full throttle, at 2300 RPM, I am going to make it about 810 nautical miles with full tanks. So that's kind of how it works out. Weight. It's depending on the weight that I start out with as well. Initial fuel load. 74 US gallons. How many gallons do I have, or how many did I start with? I started with, well, if I go to the shifter 4, 36. Well, how much is full? Oh, dang it. I'll figure it out later. But that's the basic rule of thumb. Those charts are quite good. There's the coast. So I've actually got there's some cockpit shake going on with zero wind. Yeah, and that's with zero wind. Yeah, exactly. So let's see, 89, 90. So you can see the autopilot just banking left slightly and always constantly adjusting. It's holding those parameters I've set for it very nicely. I'm very happy with that. 4.9, so it's going to be 60 seconds to our waypoint. So we're going to go LG Peths New York, delete waypoint. Yes, delete that waypoint. We're coming down to add VOR here. Okay, so let's go to the next VOR, which is Sea Isle 14.8. and then engage nav again, and it's going to turn onto our new course. So 48 nautical miles, 157 knots, and roughly 18 minutes to our next VOR. So this is going pretty quick. We shouldn't be too long before we hit Virginia Beach. Yeah, look at the... Okay, let me just take off the map overlays because it makes Plan G slow down. Okay, so if the hurricane is getting worse in Virginia Beach, we won't be there in too long a time. So yeah, with zero wind. That's right, Jill. Okay, let me just see what's going on here. 27 on YouTube and 4 on Twitch. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go grab something to drink because my throat is super dry, and I'm going to leave you with some external visuals of the aircraft while it flies for 17 minutes to its next waypoint. So let's go to an exterior view, and let's actually hit... that's quite fast. I wonder if I can change those parameters. What is that one called? Toggles the cinematic mode. Okay, so if I can change... Oop. Can I change the speed? No, I can't change anything there. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that, guys. Let me just go tea. Go on to make tea, be back soon. So, we'll be back soon, guys, and if we suddenly hit some hurricanes while I'm away, please let me know and shout very loudly in chat. So... Okay. Try flying low, lop. Try flying lop. Low RPM, full throttle. Low RPM, so 1800 on the RPM. And full throttle. That's the fuel flow's gone down to 8 gallons per hour. Lean of peak. Oh, yeah, LOP, lean of peak. That's pretty much as lean as I dare. 7 gallons per hour. Let's see what that gives us on the prediction. Oh, it doesn't give us a prediction. Okay. Oh, it does here. Okay, range. That would give us 2,000 nautical miles. That would give us 2,000 nautical miles? Over 2,000 nautical miles? That's ridiculous at this current setting. But then we're down to 145 knots. Like, how low can we drop before? No, I didn't have a Scon GL, sorry. I had a granola bar, though. And I liked it. So, yeah. So that's dropped it down to 7 gallons per hour. We're down to 140 knots on the speed. Well, that's 118 knots indicated. But we're still holding a range of 2,000 nautical miles. So you lived up there this long and still no accent? Lewis. Yeah, I was just like, who said that? And it's like, oh, Lewis, right, okay. No, mate. You know what, Lewis, I'm not even going to attempt a Scottish accent. I never have since arriving, because trying to speak in a Scottish accent is not, particularly if you're English, is not like, it's not a good thing. The Scottish, it doesn't work with the Scottish. It's not a compliment. If an Englishman tries to speak like a Scot, it's not a compliment. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't and like there's levels. There's levels. Like trying to speak with a Scottish accent, it's just not accepted. But then if you go a step further and try and speak Gaelic, then they'll probably just like stab you in the back in a dark alley. So those are my two reasons. Those are my reasons. So thank you, Lewis. Everyone in the chat, please thank Lewis. He's one of the A2A team members who brought us this beautiful thing. So everyone in chat, give Lewis a shout out. Give A2A some love. Tea. Yeah, but Lewis, I'm sorry I can't get to the I'm sorry I can't get to Cosford this year because I'm all the way up here, of course, and I'm busy and stuff. I just came back. Yeah, all hail Lewis. I just came back from a week's business trip, a 1,400-mile road trip through the UK for my work. So. And next month, actually, in October 4th and 5th, or 5th or 6th, I'm actually going over to Belfast for a conference. So I'm afraid I won't be able to make it to Cosford this year. So, okay, 18 nautical miles to our destination, our next point. We're holding. Ooh, actually, we're just getting no 104 knots indicated, guys. I'm not gonna continue this. I'm gonna have to bring it up. And look at the range deteriorate. If that's behind the chat, then I'll move this out here. Actually, now if we do that, the range is still 1,300 nautical miles. So having said that, that differs very greatly from what the actual PDF says, because the PDF says range was that performance chart says that the maximum you can get is almost 900, but that's with these particular settings, and that is with the weight. That's with 3,412 pounds before engine start. So that's with certain criteria. That's what they're telling you. But I must have a much lighter aircraft or something. I only have 2 people and 85 pounds of baggage. So actually, so your range, you can never never be fully sure on your range unless you completely are very clear on your weight and balance and your gross weight and your fuel weight and all of that. So probably needs a bit more gas, or you are icing. Ooh, no, let's check my outside air temperature. Outside air temperature is 9 Celsius. There's no way I'm icing up in this. And I'm flying south, so it's getting cabin is cool and steady. Yeah, I shouldn't be icing. It should be okay. If I was flying north, I would expect to be icing. It's held 10,000 relative. Yeah, it's held 10,000 very nicely. I am flying quite lean here. Let's go and play around with the EGT, and let's have the RPM in the. Okay, so we are at. Let's just bring that up to say 24 RPM, just to be clean about it. Okay, that's about 2,400 RPM. Is the range in chart with reserve? Ooh, that's a good point, actually. Okay, so do you hear that cutout? That is. Okay, so that is pretty much peak right there. So I'm actually gonna fly. I'm gonna fly rich of peak. By a couple of notches there. By 1 notch. I'm gonna fly slightly richer peak there. So each notch is 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's 25 degrees rich of peak. If that needle is peak, that's and that is with a fuel flow of 13 gallons per hour, which gives us a range of. Wait for it. Oh, it is that one. Lol. That still gives us 1,300 nautical miles. That's way more. That's definitely enough. Actually, guys, I was earlier looking at my route options, and that actually would give us the option of going. Would that give us? No, I don't. I think this is a bit too far. QDM range and bearing. No, that's a little bit too far from Bermuda to the Azores. But that would give us the option of going from South Africa up through. It would just allow us to get. Yeah, it would just allow us to get to Cape Verde from South America. Yeah, 1,400 nautical miles to the coast. So that's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So we're about halfway to Virginia Beach, by the way, now, guys, and we're going to probably start seeing some more cloud and more turbulence from the outer rim of the hurricane within the next 15 minutes. 125 rich of peak for best power. Yeah. So now in readjusting our settings, we're back up to 153 knots. Which is that indicated, or that is indicated? No, ground speed 166. So is that 137 knots? So how does it estimate that we've got 148 knots if our indicated is 137 and our ground speed from Plan G is saying it is 166? So we've got 3 different speeds here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to land in Virginia Beach, guys. That's going to be our stream for this. That's going to be our first leg. So I'm going to say Norfolk is going to be where we land. So it's KORF. Oh, hello. Uh-oh. So we need a new waypoint, and we need a new waypoint now. Oh, come on, Plan G. There we go. Oh, come on, Plan G. Stop this. Stop this. You're making a scene. You're making a scene. Stop. Ah, it's just the Eastern Seaboard. It's like Central London. It's just takes its time. Just takes its sweet time. Right. Okay, so it's clicked on to heading. Or, yeah, okay, it's just sorted itself out there. Let's just turn off this for a second. Right, now I can actually pan. Let's turn it back on. Okay, so from Sea Isle, we can actually come straight down to the Virginia Beach VOR, which is ORF, which is 116.9. And then hit nav again, and we're away to the races. Okay, so when we land in Virginia Beach, I will exit the sim. Actually, no, I won't exit the sim. Actually, no, yes, I do. I need to exit the sim. I need to engage the GTN 750, and then I'll restart the sim, and I'll start somewhere else, and we can do some control surface checks. We can actually kick the thing around a bit more, but this is just the first leg. This is just the first leg on our... So what we have to do in Project Fly is go to our bookings, go progress, and divert to... we need to divert to KORF. It's KORF. There we go, divert. So now that's set us to fly from Teterboro to Virginia Beach, rather than the other. Okay, so that's going to be coming down here. So we're about halfway through now. So now we did an ultra economical setup. Let's actually now see if we can push the propeller and get as much speed at 10,000. Let's see how much speed we can get at 10,000. So 74. $144 knots indicated. That's not really changing much. I think let's just bring the propeller back down again slightly to say 2500, like that. And it says we have 1 hour on the engine. Yay, we've got just over 1 hour on the engine now. On the whole airplane actually. When we land, we might actually hit precipitation descending into Virginia Beach, I think. But after we land, we will turn on all of the night lighting as well. So we'll go through the night lighting. Yeah, paint is getting stripped. Yeah. Yes, no, GL, don't worry. I will. Actually, no, let's do that now. Let's do that now for you. No reason why we can't do that. So let's go world time preview, and let's go and turn that to. All right. So now let's go instruments. Oh. Oh, and they have intensity as well. Look at that. They've got an intensity from 0 to 100. So you can change. Oh, man. Radio stack. And they have an intensity as well. Excellent. Do we want the cabin to be green? Or red? Or white on the left and white on the right? In the box. That right there. That night lighting. I like. Panel flood. Ooh, so let's turn off. That's a panel flood. That looks cool. And then sub panels. Oh, nice. So if we add the yoke in there, you can't really see it much, but the really cool thing is, guys, I know the lamps move. I know, Lewis. I watched the video. The lamps move. Here we go. I should probably close my shutters slightly. It's not that one. Not that one. Which one? Which one am I moving? Oh no, I don't have the right one set. Duh. Let me just so take off the panel. I was trying to move the panel floodlights. If I turn on these two here, watch this, guys. So anticlimactic. I can't even change them properly. Here we go. Lols. Trying to do it in the dark as well. Maybe. Oh, maybe they aren't the right ones. Yeah, they're probably not the right ones. Alright, let me get back down here. And then go and see which ones are actually lit. Okay. It's that. Ah! Ah! There we go. Huh. Oh, they're not the big ones. I was grabbing these big ones. It's the smaller ones. Yeah, there you go. I was just grabbing the wrong ones. Now, if that's set like that, if I go to the outside view, can you see that represented in the outside view? Yes! Yes, look at that. The dynamic light actually is the same. Right, now let's put that over to the other side. Let's turn that over to let's turn that straight behind us and let's go. Yeah, look at that. That's even displayed on the outside view as well. Guys, just... I know I shouldn't have my taxi light on right now, but I need it in my life, guys. It's kind of just hard to see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Right, I was just grabbing the wrong thing. So now I know what I'm grabbing. Let's put that over there. And how do I... Ah, right. It's just a bit fiddly. There we go. So that's kind of on that area now. And then the other ones, if I go and turn these off, it should be... Yeah. Yeah, so these are the big ones that I was talking about. These are the ones that I grabbed in the first place. So... They don't seem to turn left and right, they only swivel backwards and forwards. So you can have the green and the red light on at the same time and it mixes the colours. The green and the red mixed together. That's a bit trippy. It's like a club in here. My favourite are the those two up at the top. They create like a really natural white light there. But then if you turn those off, you can always have the panel flood, and then you can turn up. Excuse me, you can turn those up. That's nice as well. Like, that's just so good. Thank you guys. Thank you A2A. That does just look beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn those off. I'm going to turn the panel flood. I'm going to turn the landing and the taxi lights off because we're in the... I'm going to turn that back to daytime. Oh my word. Those clouds are saying hello to us. Yeah, we are going to have some wind down there. It's going to be bumpy. Yeah. Ah, well. Okay, so actually inbound to Virginia Beach. 40 minutes. Okay, so we're 40 minutes to Virginia Beach from now, so that's quite easy. Oh, the rain? The rain? Who said that? Who said that? Better... This better than F1 quality. Hello. If the rain is as good as lights, I'm a happy bunny. The rain effects as seen on the A2A video... On the A2A video, they look amazing because it looks like the drops like are individual in the sense that it's not just like a pre-scripted like texture of droplets that's moving as a group of droplets. Each droplet moves individually of each other. It looked like so whenever the prop was cycled in that video at the end, like you can see each individual. Let me go grab you this. Let me grab you this video here. Oh, there's myself. That's a bit weird. A2A. Right. Let's just sit and watch this. Okay, so they start the engine. And there's drops. Do you see that? There are drops that are dropping down the window by default. There's one that passes here. There's what? Yep. See, there's drops that drop down, and they're all kind of shimmering on the window. But then, as soon as he puts the speed up, look, the drops will. Oh. Okay, so he's just checking something there. Okay, so they're all just kind of naturally hanging there, and then they look at them all. Look at them all being pushed up, and they're all like individually. Like, it starts lower down. It starts down in the area that's closer to the engine. The ones that are closer to the engine, closer to the airflow, get pushed up first, and then it kind of follows in a cloud. Watch. Whoop. And then, whoop, and then they're all going. So that is, and then you can see them streaking on the windshield. And then as he pulls that down, the drops build up again, and they start doing their normal thing. So that is better. That is better than True Glass. I would hazard that is, maybe the textures aren't as crisp as True Glass, but the modeling behind, the physics behind the way the droplets move on the glass looks much more accurate than the True Glass ones do. I think the True Glass kind of, you can almost tell it looks like a pre-recorded. The whole thing is one big texture. It looks very good as well, but yeah, it looks 3D. It does look. It looks like each individual drop has a life of its own. What resolution are you using in Sim? 1080p or 2K? I'm using 1080p, GL. Yeah, A2A are just showing off. Now, yeah, I did. When I knew the Bonanza was coming out, I did hold the Bonanza to a higher level of criticism than any other A2A aircraft until now, because we now have P3D version 4. We now have aircraft that are being released with windshield effects. We had FS Labs A319 release with stunning frosting and icing, dynamic icing effects. And I was personally hoping that the Bonanza would be released with at least windshield effects, if not potentially icing effects as well. I think dynamic icing effects would be another thing to bolt into the AccuSim engine that would really be an amazing thing for A2A, and it would again lift them into a level that no one else is at, particularly with GA aircraft. Nobody does icing in GA aircraft. We know the Majestic Dash 8 Q400 has icing. Graphically, it appears on the airframe. It looks quite nice. It does the job. I'm not 100% sure on how the weight and the disruption to the airflow works with the Majestic and how they've modeled that, but I know at least that the FS Labs A319, number one, it looks amazing, and number two, they've actually gone into modeling the physical changes to the airframe and how the air flows over the airframe with that added ice, and then what negative effects that has on the performance. And that's what they're actually modeling. They're not just coding the Airbus to have extra weight all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden it feels unresponsive. They're not trying to cheat. FS Labs, I think, seem to have tried to do it in a much better way. And I think with A2A already has AccuSim, and AccuSim is so based on the physics and based on the dynamics and what's happening at the time, and all of those small little changes that's constantly affecting and feeding information into AccuSim, and AccuSim is presenting to us not just a static model that has static variables, but it's dynamic. It's completely dynamic. And I think if A2A really pushed ahead and did icing modeling, it would just be another amazing thing. And I think I would hope to see new aircraft from A2A being released with icing in the future. I was guessing, like I said, if the Bonanza was going to have something similar to this, because we've seen it already in the industry. We've seen FS Labs pioneering that, doing very well at it. And I think A2A, they step up to the plate time and time again, and I think we will see something similar to that in the future. Maybe just not now for the Bonanza, but at least they've brought in a very good looking windshield effects. And if the Bonanza did not have windshield effects, I would be saying right now, A2A, stop pushing yourselves a bit more, because other people with 64-bit, with P3D version 4, with PBR materials on the horizon in the next update for P3D version 4.4. We know things are being pushed forwards, and add-on developers that are worth their salt need to be on that curve. They need to be continually pushing themselves as well. And if A2A hadn't released the really good-looking windshield effects, I would have started to have been saying, okay, let's be a bit more critical now because other people are doing more and more stuff. But no, excellent. Really looking forward to these windshield effects when I first see them. We are nearing Virginia Beach. We've got half an hour left to run, essentially. Vince, Peter, how are you? I also bought the Bonanza. Amazing. It is amazing. It really is good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to landing. I mean, I've only just taken off and climbed to 10,000 feet and put on autopilot and just played around with the speeds and the endurance and stuff. I haven't really thrown this around. I haven't actually tested the aerodynamics. I'm going to do that when I land. I'm going to restart the sim with the GTN 750, see how that integrates into it, and that's when I'm going to do stalls, spins. I'm going to test this V-tail malarkey, and we're going to test the rain as well and all of that. So I also need vapor lock and electrical overvoltages. Yeah. I'm doing well, Vince. I got back from my week of my business trip down in England, and thankfully, like A2A Simulations have a long-running history of always releasing add-ons and aircraft when I'm on holiday or whenever I'm away from my PC, or maybe my PC is in transit, being moved in storage or something. They always seem to know, and they always seem to release their add-ons when I can't get immediate access. But today, I think on the forum, the first person that posted on the forum, Lewis, if you're still in the chat, can you confirm when exactly it was that the Bonanza was released to us? I think the first post I saw was like 6:30 this morning. Okay, so that's just been updated on the website. We're happy to add the critically acclaimed award-winning AccuSim simulation fleet today as we... Okay, let's read more. So that the website's now been updated as of when I started the stream, and I've been streaming now for 2 hours. So about 2 hours ago, this was not here. But yes, look, there you've got the GTN 750. I can't wait to see the different repaints for this. I'm going to have to see if I can try and do some of my own repaints for this. If I go to store and community. I hope you're not a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor. I pushed button at 12 just before my bacon sandwich. Oh, midday. So you released it midday, because there's a guy here, Bonanza released, and he said this: the Bonanza has been released, downloading right now, and he posted that this morning at 6:45 a.m. And then 6:58 p.m. 7 a.m. 7:07 a.m. So it looks like people had it from early this morning. So maybe you meant 12 of midnight last night. Maybe, Lewis. Your forum time zone is set to right. Oh, okay, right. I'll log in and sort that out later. Okay. So temporary anomaly during normal during release. Yeah. Okay. So my forum time zone is set to wrong time zone, but you basically released it today midday. So that's cool. Okay. That was an excellent time, Lewis, because I was out with my family this afternoon, and I came back. It must have been, it must have been about 1:30, 2 o'clock that I realized it was released, and here I am. So thank you very much. Okay, so now I'm seeing a little bit of a dip on the right-hand side, and that's... Am I seeing a little bit of a dip here? I sense a bit. No, it's flying straight and level, but I need to change my tank over to the left tank now. or else we'll be too unbalanced. And one thing I want to do as well, A2A is the new Apple. You're on Scotland time now, remember? Yeah, that's right. That's right. The way we get news in the Highlands of what's going on outside is when the farmers who sell their cow milk in Inverness come from the lowlands, and they come further up into the Highlands, and they come into Inverness to sell their milk at market, and that's when we get most news. So yeah. So what I want to do is I want to try and transfer some fuel from the wing tanks to the main tanks, because I read on the video that you can't actually drain from the wing tanks directly. You have to transfer the wing tank fuel from the wing tanks to the main tanks for them to actually have that being used. So the question is, of course, how do I do this? Auxiliary fuel pump operation. Take off and land with auxiliary fuel pump off, except in case of loss of fuel pressure. So hang on a second. So am I supposed to still have this in cruise? Let's go normal procedures and cruise. Cow flaps closed, power set, RPM as desired, mixture set, fuel flow. But it doesn't mention the fuel pump. Fuel pump at 1,000 feet, AGL off. I should have done that. Right. That's just me not paying attention to my checklists, which is very normal for me. So I should have fuel pump at 1,000 feet AGL. So almost as soon as you get off the deck, because this thing climbs like a beast, fuel pump off, fuel pressure, check it, and then max climb 2,500 RPM, 25 inches on the manifold. So what is our manifold pressure doing? It's about 20. Okay, that's about right for this altitude. 26 minutes left. We'll start descending in about 10-15 minutes, if that is correct. Cow flap. Let's just close the cow flap completely. Oh, we have a lighter. Oh, we can smoke cigarettes. Oh, too bad I'm not a smoker, because I would have enjoyed this. Armrest. Ooh! Ah! Ah! Got an armrest. Check that. Oh, that's sweet. That's pretty sweet. I do like my armrests. It doesn't have a coffee mug holder, though. Where's my coffee mug holder, Lewis? Did I miss it? No. No. It's not here somewhere. Anyway. Pumps for tip tanks. Yeah, no, I'm looking for the pumps for the tip tanks. I will find them. Defrost. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see what's... Still 9 degrees Celsius up here. How is she with the autopilot off? Any turning tendency? I'll tell you what, GL. In the descent, I will take the autopilot off, and we'll have a feel on the descent. We'll have a feel for her. Alternate air, mixture is rich. I thought that may have been, because this is a Beechcraft. Like, I'm not used to... That's my excuse. I'm not used to Beechcrafts. Ventilation nozzle. Free. Slave switch. A line switch. 10,000 feet. Auto. Left tip and right tip. There you go. And tip selector. Okay. So let's say if we've got less fuel in the right tank, let's pump that from the right tip tank into the right tank. And I don't know if you guys can hear that. No, you can't hear it being pumped. Okay. Okay, so we're close to 67%. Let's see if that rises. It doesn't seem to be rising. Maybe I need to put the master fuel pump on for that to be working. 67%. I don't like the concept of the Bonanza. I'm still a little bit disappointed. So, Multi, what do you mean as in you don't like the concept? Do you mean you don't like the aircraft as an aircraft? Or you don't like A2A's rendition of the aircraft? Oh, okay. So that's the tip tank selector. So you can actually see. Ah, right. Okay. So the fuel is 97. Yeah. So the fuel is now coming out of the right tip tank. It's at 97%. If you select the left tip tank, it's 100%. But I've not got the fuel pump on the left tip tank running. So that, yeah, and now the right fuel tank is 68%. So it's really not a terribly fast pump. It's just the way it is. Okay. I don't like the cockpit of the Bonanza. I'm a little bit. Oh, okay. Sorry, the cockpit. Yeah, I didn't read the cockpit. So, I mean, I suppose you could say you're disappointed at the Bonanza cockpit because it's a Bonanza cockpit. Because as far as I know, A2A generally model exactly the way it looks. So if it looks like this in real life, then A2A are going to model the Bonanza cockpit to look like this. Do you mean more the Beechcraft design or the Beechcraft layout of the gauges and the controls, rather than just the whole Beechcraft cockpit in general? Is fuel sloshing visible during maneuvers? We can have a look at that when we descend, Mazoto. Let's just have a look. Yeah, I'm going to start descending fairly soon. Let's just go look at our active sky next weather and see if it's actually raining in none reported on precipitation. None reported. When we restart the sim, though, we'll artificially engage precipitation so we can see what that looks like. So, very old aircraft, don't forget, barely post-war. Yeah, that's true. I mean, this was designed, like, remember what they said in the introductory video, A2A was saying that this was designed off of, the wing shape in particular was designed off of warbird wings so that the ex Air Force personnel coming back from the war, had something that was similar to them, and it was kind of based off that. That's a very interesting point, though, GL. So that tip tank pump really is not pumping very fast at all. Tip tanks is 93% now. It's only pumped a few percentage in that space of time. Maybe I don't need to have. I'm going to turn the main fuel pump off to see if that's still. This is an individual pump, I think, so it shouldn't need. So 93. So hopefully soon we'll see a 92. But the autopilot, I can't say, guys, the autopilot has been rock solid. Even though there has been a little turbulence en route, there's 17 knot sidewind now, and with a 17 knot sidewind, Plan G is telling us, I mean, we're keeping on that radial very nicely, and we're still sticking to the altitude very nicely as well. So QNH 1013, 10,000, flight level 10. 18 minutes to Virginia Beach now. So yeah, we'll see. But so far, I mean, the autopilot controls, as I say, look a bit rudimentary. I mean, as we know, it's an old plane. We've got wood paneling in the plane, so that shows you kind of how old it is. Let's set that to 1013 as well. That looks like a secondary altitude. I don't know why. I'm going to have to read up on why they have a secondary altimeter to our main one here. And that's the VOR2 indicator. But we're going to use the primary VOR1 indicator for our glide slope and localizer when we get there. So walnut, yeah, I think it is walnut. It does look like walnut, yeah. But I can definitely attest that the autopilot system it feels quite reliable, quite, you know, there's not much room for error, and there's no complexity to it. It feels very solid, and it's easy to understand once you get it. You've just got this panel up at the top, shows you what is actually engaged. So the flight director is engaged, nav function is engaged, altitude hold is engaged, the autopilot itself is on, and CPLD, I'm not quite sure what that stands for, but there we go. And then you just engage and disengage things with this little row of buttons down here: heading, nav, flight director, BC. Back course mode, that's interesting. I have no clue what that is. I have to read up on that. Approach mode, altitude hold, autopilot on and off, and up and down for your vertical ascent or descent. And then you select your altitude in this box to the left. Sorry, it's probably behind my camera. You select the altitude in this box and hit arm or de-arm. So in essence, it's very similar to the other GA aircraft autopilot systems that A2A have. It's just Beechcraft has actually arranged it in a different way and split it up. I think it's not a Bendix King either, it's some other similar. Again, fantastic work from A2A. Yeah, it is. It's really is something. So 16 minutes from Virginia Beach. I'm going to probably start descending fairly soon. So we really haven't actually seen. Let's just go back to my history. No, I can't see that. Let's go Eastern Seaboard weather. Let's go back to that thing that we were looking at earlier. Okay, so Virginia Beach, this is probably just an outer area of cloud layer that we're experiencing now. So this is just an outer area of cloud layer, I'm guessing. There might be precipitation below us, but Virginia Beach is saying, the METAR at Virginia Beach is saying there's no precipitation at the moment, but the actual amber showing on the map looks like to be the turbulence and precipitation. So that would be south of Virginia Beach. That would be, you know, off Carolina Beach, Long Beach, Myrtle Beach. That kind of area is where the issue would be, I'm guessing. It's interesting. Wow, storms all over the planet. Every single day there's lightning storms and hurricanes and all sorts of things like happening. Alligator River. So we'll just get some cloud layer. Okay, so we're going to begin descending soon. Presumably we'll fly localizer but not glide slope. You can have a glide slope. There is a glide slope indicator here. If I zoom in. See on the side, GS, that's glide slope. So you do actually have a glide slope indicator in this aircraft. Which you have the same thing in all the GA aircraft actually. All the A2A GA aircraft have glide slope indicators on their nav1 gauges, or if they have a gauge like this, it will be on this. I think the Cessna C182 has a gauge like this with the yellow needle on the actual heading indicator. So Right, so I'm going to see if I can begin descent. I'm going to turn this down to 3000 and hit arm, and then start pushing down on the down button. Let's see if we can just descend at, say, 600 feet per minute. Seems to be good. Let's actually leave the power settings at the moment. I want to see what the aircraft is like at higher speed. Excuse me. Speeding up into the amber bar there. So far, not very much turbulence, but I'm sure we'll get to that. But AP will only fly localizer via nav button, but no approach button. Yeah, there is an approach button. It's down here. APPR, approach. So I'm guessing, we'll see what we can do. I'm guessing there is an approach function, though. We'll see what that's like. Let's put my feet on the rudder pedals, and right, let's begin to get our first feeling. Let's get our first feeling for. Let's turn off the autopilot. Okay, let's just rudder left and right. Stop rudder. Interesting. Right, let's go to the back view again. Let's just left and right rudder. And then stop rudder now. That still oscillates back and forwards quite noticeably more than a vertical tailed. Let's try that one more time. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and stop. Interesting. I mean, it feels generally stable to me at the moment. Like if I just put the yoke back on. Whoa, really kick it around. It feels generally stable. It does yaw just more noticeably because it doesn't have a completely vertical stabilizer there to really arrest that. When we get closer to Virginia Beach, what I'll do is I'll do some... let's just put the autopilot back on. What we can do is do some stalls. When we get closer to Virginia Beach, we'll do some stalls. I just want to... Yeah, so we've just come off course there, and the autopilot... Let's just see how the autopilot recaptures that. We're not too far away now. So, and we're still descending quite rapidly, so... Oscillation expected. Which pedals have you? I have the... what are they called? The... not the Thrustmaster ones, it's the... hang on. The MFG Crosswind rudder pedals. The really good ones. Those are the ones I have. The good ones. So... Let me just get myself reseated. Oh, and there's like a little thing going on there. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so we're screaming down the we're screaming down in the descent at 165 knots. But this aircraft seems to be able to hold that amber speed quite well. It's not really, it doesn't feel stiff to maneuver at those sorts of speeds. It feels easier to maneuver at higher speeds. Like in the amber speed, I still feel like I have complete control over the aircraft. You know, whereas another aircraft, if it was flying, say if the Cessna 172 was flying in the amber speed, you couldn't really throw it around as much as you could still throw this around. And I think that's down to the wing shape. The post-World War II wing shape and design. Yeah, you can see in this sticker here, you can see the white bubble that's formed underneath the sticker, in between the glass and the sticker. Oh wow, you see a lot of them here. That's really cool. So it really looks like an actual sticker that's just been stuck onto the window. So, okay, and there's Virginia Beach coming into view, and this interesting sort of roadway system thing. Yeah, some sort of bridge system. Yeah, it's like a bridge system that also has tunnels, which mean that big freighters can come back and forwards and through that area in and out of the sea, but then you still have the highway through as well. So 6,000 feet coming down now. The weather here at Virginia Beach is looking a lot better than I thought it would. So maybe maybe my weather settings actually aren't as bad. If I go and I change my weather settings, actually, I can change them on the fly. If I go weather control, no, actually, I would have to go in sim. So if I go options, graphics, and go weather, and then cloud coverage maximum, and hit OK. It doesn't seem to have done anything really. Unless we go to historical and then live just to update the weather. And then we might see some more clouds pop in a second. No? Oh crap, yes. That was slightly different, yes. Yeah, so let's just pull the propeller back now, 75% power, so we just come out of that, ease ourselves out of that that amber speed now. Yeah, so a lot more cloud than we... And that's put the frame rate down ever so slightly, but that should be okay. So yeah, so whenever we turned on the autopilot again, the autopilot recaptured the radial and is bringing us down very nicely. Let's think about the ILS now. ILS is 109.1, and let's put that in now. And yep, so we just see that change there, and let's get the localizer is 228. There we go, and the glide slope indicator there for you, GL, is just there, down. So now let's fly in heading mode. Let's hit engage heading mode, and let's just bring the heading so that we intercept the localizer, and we have 3,000 feet armed, so we're coming down. That beep that we just heard was the 1,000 feet, within 1,000 feet indicator. And now that we're descending, actually, I just heard the engine blip, and that reminded me that I've got to increase my mixture as we descend. So let's just maintain 2,500 RPM. A2A making great aircraft, but it's my personal feel. I don't like the cockpits. The features are great, but I can't get friendly with the cockpit. Only Piper Cherokee and Constellation are my favorite. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, it's a personal preference, really, as to what you feel. Oscillation expected. Which pedals have used? Okay. All right, let's go propellers max now, and let's pull the throttle down. We want to get down to 3,200, 3,000 now because we are above the glide. So let's go manual now. Go in manual. Okay. So mixture is now rich. Let's just trim. Okay, so pull the power right back. Let's just slow down now. I think we're not going to actually make... Yeah, we're not going to actually make this unless we... Okay, so that's the beep of the... we might still make this. We just have to descend quite steeply here. Let me just go down and pop on the landing. The taxi... the landing lights, actually. Okay, so before we just fly into the sea, let's just have a look at the landing checklist. Landing, autopilot off, fuel pump on. Okay, fuel pump. Like so. Fuel pump, fuel selectors, fuel levels, mixture, altimeter, cowl flaps. Okay, cowl flaps are closed. Yep, cowl flaps are closed. Mixture is rich. Fuel selector is on desired tank, that's correct. And I've still been pumping tank. Whoa. Whoa. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's turbulence right there. That oscillation, left and right oscillation. Okay, so I am in... So gear coming down. Let's just trim. Whoa, that left and right. Okay, flaps are at max. Okay, so we're on localizer now, and we're on glide slope. So that's good. But that left and right oscillation there, whoa. That's not my rudder inputs at all. I'm not putting any rudder inputs in at all. That could just be the turbulence of the day. I don't feel like this is going to be good. Just brake and ailerons into the wind. Whew, right. That was a bit of a weird crosswind landing. So I'm just going to pull up. Okay, strobe as we're off the active. Taxi light on now. Let's turn the landing light off. We don't need it. Whew, that was fun. And you can see our right fuel tank now has more fuel than the left because we were draining on the left, but we were pumping back into the tank. So in cruise, we might as well just leave both tip tank pumps on to gradually be pumping the tip tanks into the main tanks as we drain the main tanks. Because those pumps in debrief, those pumps on the tip tanks run quite slowly. So actually having both of them on makes sense. But all in all, a really beautiful aircraft. Really beautiful. A lot of character to it, and I can't wait to get stuck into the long hauls with it and see how the endurance works. So now I'm pulling up. I'm just going to turn off the taxi light. And I'm just going to pop us right here. Okay, so parking brake. Flaps go. Offline lag. Shut down brakes set. Electrical radios off. Okay. Yeah. So avionics off. We can turn off those pumps now. And electrics off. Heat, beacon, nav, battery, and pull the mixture. Woo! Right, so let's go to our... Okay, so we burnt 88 on one side and 74 on the other, but you can see the tip tank is on 57%. So actually, we pumped 50%. We pumped almost half of the right tip tank into the main. So that's for a flight like that. I already pumped away half of my tip tank. Okay, granted, tip tanks aren't very big, but still. And let's just see about the maintenance hangar. And I love the fact that now, to see if anything's wrong, I have to go and inspect. Inspecting. Yep. Some engine accessories need repairs? What? The starter. Oh, whenever I screwed up the... okay, so that needs repairing straight away. So I just destroyed the starter, my first ever try. So I just... Yeah. Okay, that's really good. And then the gauges, as far as I can see, well, something will pop up when the gauges get broken. But yeah, 1.9 hours on the airframe so far. Let me just complete that flight. Yes, complete the flight. Landing rate -32 feet per minute. That's fine. Yeah, that's you can see where the speed really dropped down when we did that speed test of lean of peak and so forth. Okay, so that's done. Let's restart P3D. So let's just turn the whole thing off. Let's just run the configurator. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that should be okay. Everything's okay. Just make sure that P3D is actually off in the task manager as well. Let's just end task that. Okay, so that's done. Let's go to the A2A Simulations. We should go to the Bonanza aircraft configurator. Ooh, 4K. Ooh, not sure what that is. Mirrors. Oh wow, there's a mirror there. That's cool. Let's see what that looks like. Changes will take effect after the next time you run Prepared 3D. Okay, cool. Back. Dynamic lights. Nav, strobe, beacon, and virtual cockpit, ambient. Okay. I didn't have any of these turned on. So we'll see what these look like when we restart P3D. And finally the GPS. Let's go Flight 1 GPS and let's go both the... oh, what does this mean on... Oh, both the 650 and the 750. Both. Okay. Yeah, and back. Okay. And then with the F1 GTN, with this Flight 1 configurator, We also need to just make sure that the Skyhawk Comanche Cherokee, where is the Duke? There we go, the Beechcraft Bonanza. Let's configure that. And we have, yeah, okay, so we've got the 650 and the 750 set. Let's just make sure that the clickiness doesn't happen. Oh, yep. Let's go, I think it's play click, no. And then you go to the 650 unit 1 and hit play click, no. It just means that every time you click on the touchscreen, it doesn't have that really annoying click, 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 click noise. Where did I miss it? Play click, there we go, no. Enter, and I should just exit and we should be fine. Okay, so let's restart P3D. Okay, what is this logging stuff? Yeah, that's Project Fly. That's just a flight plan logging software. It's free at the moment. Go and have a look at it. So I'm going to try and start this aircraft now without destroying my starter. So yeah. And also what I can do is I can actually take off from somewhere as close as possible to that. But I'm just going to go away. I'm going to make some more tea, use the bathroom, the facilities while this loads up. So I'm just going to engage this, and I will be back with you folks. So for you guys in the stream, let's see what's going on. There's 32 people on YouTube, 1 on Twitch. If you guys want to go grab a cup of tea, something, your beverage of choice, go use the bathroom while we wait for P3D to reload. So I will be back in a minute. Okay. Okay, let's reselect. Let's just make sure my T is off. Is it above? Piper, A2A Beechcraft. Let's go with a different. Let's go with a. It's a German, I think. Delta is a German. Let's see, where in the world is map conditions? Weather control. Let's just go to the map and say, let's go further south. Oh my goodness. Light rain, light rain. Moderate rain. Well, let's do, let's just quit the weather. Let's fly wherever we like. Let's see, where do we want to fly, guys? What scenery would we like? Gold Coast? Ooh, we could do Gold Coast. That's nice scenery. Yeah. And let's go GA. And let's go heavy rain. Heavy snows, major thunderstorm. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm afraid, actually, Charles, I'm sorry, I don't actually have any French scenery. I don't have Paris. I don't have any French scenery, actually. It would actually be quite nice to. It would be quite nice to get Paris, Charles de Gaulle, so I could do Air France flights. I'm just in a patch now where I have no money, so I've had so many things to pay for in life recently and this is just like, priorities. I do prioritize aircraft add-ons these days over scenery now because I have enough scenery to just be happy with. And I generally will only now get scenery if it's on sale. Because I've bought a lot of scenery. But aircraft add-ons are more, I would go out of my way to pay for A2A add-ons and also like Quality Wings 787 I got, and the big ones. If Lewis is still here, I'm looking forward to the Stratocruiser back in. I want to get Orbeck sales are like crack. Yeah, basically. GL, when they bring out Orbeck's Isle of Man, I'm going to love that. I'm going to be Flybe-8 into Isle of Man all the time. I'm really looking forward to the Isle of Man. Because it's always that really annoying bit in between Orbeck's Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland. It's all Orbeck's except for the Isle of Man. It's just that really annoying bit in between that I never fly to because I don't have scenery for it. I did actually get the True Earth scenery, I think it was called, for that years ago, but it never worked with P3D. And Orbeck's have recently bought out the True Earth. I think it's True Earth. I think it's True Earth scenery. Let's go to the scenery map, actually, by daily. Yeah, no, he doesn't even have anything listed because it's so old it doesn't actually work. So P3D Isle of Man scenery. Oh yeah, that's me. That's my post on. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Windshield effects coming right up. Anytime you're ready. They are doing the Channel Islands as well. Very nice. Yeah, I've actually got UK 2000 Guernsey. No, UK 2000 Jersey. But if Orbex did the Channel Islands, I would totally buy that and fly that instead. Oh. I'm just going to turn track IR off and just sit and watch this. Let's just get my frame rates up as well. 15, 16. Okay, this is Orbex Gold Coast, so I mean the frame rates are quite heavy. The frames are going to be quite heavy. But that right there, guys, that's a screenshot and a half. I'm just going to take a screenie there. Hang on. Turn off the parky brakes. That's my screenshot right there. Let's see if I can just open Photoshop and put that in. Yep, blend properly with FTX UK. Yeah, no, I would. I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be Flyby up and down all day long. That's my screen. That's my thumbnail. Okay, so we can see that the raindrops are actually flowing down the screen. Now, if I look at that, the raindrops aren't as high quality as, say, the True Glass ones, but they are all, like, they're good raindrops. If I go to the exterior view, I wonder if they've got anything going on in the exterior view for the raindrops. No, they don't. Okay, that's fine though. That's understood. I don't think there's any performance. I don't think there's any real performance hit. Let's talk like an Australian now. I don't think there's any performance hit because you know we're at the Gold Coast. I don't think there's any performance hit on the rain effects on the glass from the A2A. Okay, I'm going to stop now because I'm not quite good at the Australian accent. I don't think there's any noticeable performance hit that I can see. What happens if I open the window? What does that look? Okay, that. Oh, Durka is live. Durka is live. We go see what he's doing on his stream. Durka is live. Oh, excuse me. Oh, we'll have to wait until that pops up. Okay, so I'm just that looks beautiful. It really does. And it's not just on the front windshield; it's on the sides, and you can see the raindrops coming down the side windows as well. See? And also the back windows. Let's just sit there and have a look at that for a minute. Oh, Durka's doing a P3D. Oh no, is that a screenshot? Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, he's doing a something else. Okay. Right, let's get back to the task at hand. So they've done a fantastic job with that. Okay, right, enough gawking. Let's have a look. And now, of course, you can see the GTN 750 and 650 next to one another. And the click spot is correct. You can click them both out. So let's get this aircraft started. Okay, so mixture in. Let's just turn on the parking brake as well. Mixture in. Let's go off this small side checklist as well. By the way, let's just open that. Let's put. Actually, no. Let's put that back to the way it was. It was roughly like that. Okay, beacon. And remember now that they're all on volumetric lighting. Well, you won't see the beacon on because I haven't put the battery on. Now the battery's on. Oh, look at that volumetric lighting. Look at that rotating. What we can do is we can turn the... yeah, well, it's all volumetric lighting at Gold Coast anyway, so you can see. And you can see that that volumetric lighting is actually shining off of the aircraft itself as well. So that's shining onto the aircraft. You can see on the tip tanks, you can see that glow come and go. And can you? Yep, look, you can see that shine on the back of the props, on the back of the engine components there, the back of the gear. So that's definitely volumetric lighting. That's very nice. So let's just turn that off and go back to... yeah, it's definitely... my FPS is definitely a lot better in the daytime. That's really nice. Look at that. Well, I mean, I'm almost 30 frames per second. You know, FPS in Flight Simulator is always a bit of an issue because, like, you could have 30 FPS and it can be running very, very smoothly. It could be locked at 30 FPS and running very smoothly. You could be running at 31 FPS, but it can be very stuttery. And that's to do with the way objects are loading into the simulator, etc., etc. So just going off FPS as a level, as a benchmark for your sim performance, doesn't tell the whole story. And also think about the fact that I'm streaming right now, so that's always going to be a slight hit to the performance as well. So the fact that I'm able to get, 26 to 30 FPS at this setup, and streaming at the same time. If you guys want to go see my... oh, that's such a beautiful shot there. The lines of that aircraft. Look at the curves and the lines of the... oh! Anyway, right, let's get inside again. Right. Okay, pre-flight complete. Let's just say we did. Passenger briefed, seatbelts. Yeah, to be fair, it's a bit harder in the cockpit. There's less frames in the cockpit, definitely, than there is outside. Flaps are up, radios are off, gear is down. Okay, engine mixture, rich, prop full, throttle full. Bat and alt switch is on. Let's put the alt switch on. Let's try and do this now without flooding the engine. Check gear lights are all green. They are, correct. Okay, auxiliary pump on until fuel flow goes into the green, okay? Okay. Okay, throttle cracked a 1/4 inch, which is about 10%. Maybe slightly more. Okay, and then start. Come on, baby. There we go. Avionics on. That is pretty bad FPS, to be fair. I'm going to change the time of day just because that's ridiculously. I think it's because it's the evening. If I change that to, yep, I automatically get much better FPS. I'm just going to apply that preview time, guys. We'll play around taking off, revving up the engine, seeing how the water droplets on the windshield are affected. We'll see what it looks like in full flight going through rain as well. There we go. That's better. It's about that's up to where we want it to be. Let's just set our. Nice to see. I always feel very much at home with the GTN 750 in the cockpit. It's an incredibly versatile piece of avionics. Okay, so now we can actually see what's happening. Let's just rev up the engine, and I hope you guys can see. I'll try and get to an angle right there. Let's just rev up here and see. Wow. Wow. Look at that. And there's different levels. I'm just going to pause track IR right there, and I'm just going to get us to a good view like this. Okay, so there are different levels. Slightly more, you can see they're just starting to move. Slightly more, and then full, and it's like boom. Wow. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Okay. We're just going to impromptu take off. We're not going to like bother with checklists or anything because we want to get up and do some test the we want to get up and test the aerodynamics of this thing. And you see on the side window, the water is streaking horizontally. If I just brake all of a sudden though, okay. Huh. No, it doesn't have wipers. That's what I was wondering. But this aircraft doesn't have wipers. That lightning though. Okay, so now, I mean, everything's on dynamic lighting. Let's go. Let's put nav lights on, taxi lights on. Let's put all the lights on. All of them. All of the lights. So let's just move the camera back slightly like that so we can get a better feeling for the dynamic lighting. Yeah, you can see we've got quite a headwind on takeoff here. So let's just turn. Okay, let's just stop. And let's just turn the season time preview. So you can see the strobes strobing away, and the strobes are actually casting light onto the airframe. See, if I just zoom in here, you can see that glow, that little tick, 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 tick. That is the strobe there. You've got the lightning effects, of course, being handled by this company as well. You've got the dynamic glow of the green and the red lights on the tip tanks and on the leading edges of the wings. Then you've got the dynamic lights of the taxi and landing light, and then you've got the dynamic light of the caution warning light. So you've got a lot of things going on there. If I go to the interior view and then turn the time preview, let's see what it looks like on the inside at night. Interesting. So all of those So if I turn off the taxi and the landing lights, the nav lights, the beacons, and the strobe, so I've got no exterior lights. All of the beads of water are still lit up from something or other. I'm not quite sure why. If I pull the engine back again, that's interesting. I wonder where that light is coming from that's highlighting those droplets. Maybe from I mean, there's always ambient light outside, however little. So nav, beacon, strobe, taxi, landing. Let's turn it back to real world time. Okay, read some comments here. Very nice indeed, and back in mid-30s. Yeah. Hi Peter, do you want to fly the Bonanzas together? See, it's 5:20, it's 5:30. Maybe later this evening, Vince, if that's okay. But right now, I've got some stuff to do this afternoon, so I'll probably take a break for about 2-3 hours and then come back to you. Hit me up on Discord though, Vince, later. Okay, so we're going to take off and we're going to have a look at what these effects look like in flight. Whoa. Gear up. That climb rate though. Okay, so it looks pretty sweet. You can see the raindrops flying up the windscreen. And across, if you look out the left window, you can see they're flying across you. Let's pull the flaps up now. Okay, we're above 1,000 feet AGL. Oh, we already had that turned off. Okay. Wow, that oscillation? That is just happening. That's not me. And it's randomly banking left. Randomly banking left, despite the fact that the right wing is heavier. Interesting. Let's turn on these tip tanks again. Okay, so we're inside IMC conditions. You can see how much we're yawing left and right. And that's not me. Again, though I'm flying through turbulent conditions. So, okay, so what we've experienced here is, let's just pull the power back here. Whoa. Okay, so what we're experiencing here is because we're flying through. Let's just go clear skies. All of that yawing and oscillation was due to heavy turbulence because we were flying through clouds. If dynamic lighting on raindrops, it would be too hard on FPS. Yeah, so I don't think it's. Yeah, the raindrops are baked in. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. I think I just destroyed my PC in changing that. Yeah, but it's been a good stream. I've been really enjoying this. It's been, how many? Oh, okay, we're back. Okay. And for some reason, we've got a left-hand pull. Despite the fact that the left tank is lighter, the left wing is lighter than the right. So I'm not sure why that's happening. Oh, the tip tank. The left tip tank is heavier than the right tip tank. That might be it. Alright, okay. Well, what we'll do... Oh, so beautiful. Look at that. There's a quarry down there. This scenery is stunning. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do some stalls. Sweet. If you look at the mirrors that I engaged, look at that. Oh, wow. Nice. Huh. I bet if I turned those off, I'd probably get much better frames. Or not much better, but you would get acceptably better frames. Okay, so let's actually like throw this thing around and see what's so special about it. Oh my word! It's just full left and right rudder. That does not look good. Okay, let's stall this thing. See what happens. We're at 3,000 feet. Let's do a power off stall. Wow. Oh crap. Oh crap. Excuse me. That's a violent staller. I lost 2,000 feet right there. Why mirrors, GL? It has mirrors because the real one has mirrors. The scenery I'm using, GL, is called the FTX Gold Coast cityscape scenery. That's why it looks so good. It's specific. It's a specific city scenery. So yeah, it's very nice. So I'm pumping from that tank. If I just go and have a look, yeah. So I have a lot more weight in the left tip tank than I do in the right. So if I just stop pumping from the right tip tank, yeah, and just pump from the left one now. Okay, that was a very harsh stall. If I go to outside and go flyby, I'm going to try and... I'm going to do that again. You slow down very quickly. You spin. You go into a spin. Oh my word. 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 Go. Get back. Get back. Get back. You go into a... Wow. Wow. That spins like no other GA aircraft. And it spins like that because of that thing at the back. That's crazy. That's some real flying right now. Just gonna get back. Okay, 4,000 feet. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna do a power on stall now. Full power, full mixture, full propeller. Let's just do a power on stall. Okay, I'm not touching the rudder at all. I will not touch the rudder this entire thing. Not touching the rudder, not touching the rudder. Look at that oscillation. And then just slowly on the back. Pull up. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to zoom out a bit further. It kicks to the left. Well, the reason it's kicking to the left is because the reason it's kicking to the left is because the left wing tank is heavier. If I just nullify this issue right now. Okay, now I don't have that difficulty. If I now go and stall, if I now bleed off the speed and do a power on stall, let's see how which wing stalls out first. That's probably to do with pull up, nope. Wow. Wow. See if I can do loop the loop. Nope, I can't. I spin out at the top. Or I want to. Okay, I'm going to do a power off stall again. Drop and spin. Wow. To get out of that, just push the stick forward, get the nose pointing straight down, and it'll stabilize eventually, and then you gradually pull out. That's amazing. That's really quite a fun... That's a fun aircraft to stall, I'll tell you right now. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's go back to the Gold Coast airport and see about landing this baby. Whew, that was fun. Three and a half hours on the stream now. So this aircraft ooh, what is that? Oh, that's okay. So on reflection, On reflection, I really, really like this aircraft. It's got this really weird mix between like the erraticness of a warbird and a high-performance cross-country aircraft, which is really interesting. It's just, there's nothing like, look at that. And the way they've done this is really, let's just get some oscillation built up. It's really interesting. So what I will be doing is in the coming weeks, I will be doing full flight videos on this aircraft. I'll be digging into the aerodynamics a bit further, how they work, how it performs, how it operates, and how to plan these sorts of cross-country long flights. Like I say, I'm going to be going on a flight from New York to North America. I'm going to fly down through the Caribbean down into North America. I don't know my final destination yet. Maybe if anyone lives in South America, what am I saying? If anyone lives in South America, please let me know. I could fly to somewhere close to you. I could just go to Rio. I think going to Rio would be nice. I think I'll have to do that, and then I'll get that scenery that Orbex does for Rio. Or no, not Rio, for the whole of South America. It's like regional scenery. It's like a countryscape type thing. So how are we for 19 knots? Wow. Oh, 0 knots actually. Okay. A snap roll, please. Okay. And of course doing it one way means I need to do it the other, so... That wasn't too bad. That's not an issue really. Let's just do that one more time. How do you find A2A's new Spitfire? As good as the Real Air? I've never flown the Real Air Spitfire, so I wouldn't be able to tell between the two. But the A2A's Spitfire is, I'd say, the best rendition of a Spitfire because it has AccuSim, and it also does all the engine management and all the individual components. I'm not sure if the Real Air really has that depth of simulation. Not that I know the Real Air, so I couldn't really be a good person to comment on that. But I know that the A2A Spitfire is very good. And they've just released the Mustang for V4 as well. So okay, I'm going to come in for quite a visual landing here. Gear coming down, coming into place. There we go. Retrim. Oh, off the center line. Just retrim. There we go. And now we have calm. We don't have a crosswind. Let's hope that my touchdown is a bit better than it was in Virginia Beach. Just trim. There we go. Whoa, excuse me, that was me. Kind of touchy, but that may just be my joystick. I may need to set harder null zones on my joystick axes. Axes. That's the one. Bring it down. Bring it down. Oh, yes. I'm happy with that. I think that was a bit of a fluke, though. That was quite flukish. There we go. Max 5.7 tons. Oh, we're definitely not 5.7 tons. Strobe is off. Come on, baby. Let's put the flaps up as well. Interesting that the caution light is underneath the aircraft, not on top of it. Usually caution lights are put in places that people can see most visibly. Like I would have thought the caution light was on the bottom, but anyway. Okay, folks, thank you very much for watching. How do we feel about that? GL, thank you. Good to see you. Very entertaining. Cheers. Yeah, no. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and please look forward to my my future releases on the channel. I've got a PPL training series video coming up, and some other things as well. Some World War II Warbird content and World War I Warbird content. As you can see, if any of you have seen above on the banner of my YouTube channel has changed to incorporate World War I and World War II combat simulation as well as this civilian stuff that I do. So I'm hoping to do more of that at some point. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed. Hello, Outstanding Landing. Just bought the Bonanza, haven't installed it yet. Well, have a good time, and I look forward to seeing what kind of liveries come out for this. It's a beautiful aircraft, so it really is. I can't wait until A2A do a twin. I just really, really want them to do a twin general aviation aircraft. I'm sure they do have it on the books. They did have it a while ago. They did mention that they were working on one. It was the Seneca, I think? Well, it wasn't the Seneca, it was something else. The Seminole, the Piper Seminole or something? Something like that. So hopefully at some point we will get a twin GA from A2A. I'm sure we will. It's the natural evolution. It's the natural progression. A2A have always been producing add-ons that progress. So they started with a 172, they went and did a Piper trainer, and then they went a more advanced, they did the 182, and then they did the Comanche, and now they've brought out this, which is just another string to their bow in the GA line. So yeah, over the coming weeks I'm just going to be tweaking the settings so that maybe turning on or off the dynamic lighting to see what kind of performance I can get out of it. But all in all, really, really thoroughly happy with the A2A Bonanza. Fantastic aircraft. I can't wait to really rack up some solid flights and solid hours. I'm gonna rack up a lot of hours taking it from New York down to South America, through the Caribbean as well, guys. I mean, imagine St. Martin, St. Bart's. We're gonna have some fun. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Really great to have so many people on the stream. I don't think I've had as many people as this on the stream. I think the most I had was 35 at one point. So thank you very much for watching, and look forward to catching you guys later. So yep, like, comment, and subscribe. Do people even do that these days? I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much, and I might pop on again to do some flying with Vince if anyone wants to catch me in Discord or something like that. Let me know, and pop a message to me on my Facebook page, Mantok Productions Facebook page, if you want to get in contact with me. So thank you very much, guys, and more videos on this coming soon. Bye.